We're seeing major improvements in Angel Reese's game, and I think she's just getting started. Angel started out the season struggling. I think all the sophomores were struggling or they hit a rough patch early in the season, and it looks like most of them are turning it around. So she was one of those people. She was after the first 3 or 4 games, she was under 10 points a game, shooting a low field goal percentage. She was just in the struggle or a slump. But it looks like the last 4 games she's turned it around. She's in the last 4 games, she's at 14 points a game, almost 11 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 2.3 steals, plus blocks. I think that's and blocks, and field goal percent is nearly 50%. But at the rim, her field goal percent is 60%, 61%. So we've seen a big spike in her numbers and production, and I think a lot of it is just more reps. Just back on the court, getting back into the groove of it. She's not a rookie anymore, so early mistakes or trying to learn the game, figure it out. That's what you chalked it up to at the beginning of the season for the rookies. But when you're sophomore, you kind of still go through that, and they call it the sophomore slump. And it looks like she's figured herself back out, just like last year after a couple games. She's figured herself back out, and I think she's taken a lot into her own hands. I feel like she was trying to play within this new system that the coaches put in and try to fill out and learn her new teams. Who can I trust? Who's going to do X, Y, and Z? And I think I got to watch how I say it. I think Courtney getting injured helped her. I'm not saying it's a good thing that she got injured, but her being injured put Angel in a different position to where first we were seeing Angel play at the top of the key and playing outside of the paint, but she wasn't doing too much because Courtney had the ball a lot. And now that Courtney is gone, Angel now is taking on all those responsibilities for ball handling and playmaking. And so her being gone sucks, but it had to push Angel in that she's uncomfortable. She's in that uncomfortable stage of I'm really trying to learn this position. And that's why you see her turnovers are high. And that's the new talking point. All of a sudden this year now turnovers matter. And people are talking about her turnovers and they're high because now she's figuring out how to be the floor general. If you watch her off the ball, she's still telling people what to do, what play they're running, or who's the mismatch. I remember last game, she brought the ball up the court and swung it to, I can't remember who she passed it to, but Miller had a mismatch, and she's on the wing screaming to pass the ball to Miller, which they didn't. They passed it back to Angel, and then Angel got the ball to Miller, who had a mismatch. And so you just see that side of her now coming out because there's no traditional point guard on the team anymore. Now the ball is in her hands more. I'm pretty sure her usage is higher now. If not, that's because the position she has the ball in now. Even if she had a larger usage. I can't talk. A larger usage rate last year, if she did, it's the positions of where she would get the ball. Last year she was in the post strictly. This year now she's on that outside, handling the ball, making decisions. So those turnovers spiked up because her responsibility has changed. When she got the ball last year, it was kind of strictly to score. If somebody was wide open, she could kick it, but it was kind of score. And now it's to set the tone, call out the action they're going to run, just different responsibilities than she had. And now we're seeing different results. We haven't seen her pass the ball like this in her young career, and we haven't seen her have the turnovers she had. And that's strictly, those go hand in hand, especially when you're learning on the fly. We've seen that happen with the player last year. They're learning point guard, being the star of their team on the fly. They had a ton of turnovers. That's just what happens when you have the ball in your hand a lot. And then when you're being the facilitator, it's just going to happen. But even in her best game of the year, her triple-double game, she was 11, 13, and 11, I believe. And she only had 2 turnovers. And so we want to see that. We know that's coming, but we have to be patient with the turnovers. Yeah, we don't like them, but it's literally nobody else to hand the ball to that's going to do anything different. So it's just like, you got to think about that as the coach. You're like, well, we got guards on our team, but are they going to make the passes, the right passes? Are they going to get 7 turnovers in the game? Most likely. So we might as well put it in our best facilitators' hands and let Angel run the show. And so that's what's going on right now. We love to see the growth. I would love for she would end the season with 15 and 11. That'd be a solid sophomore season. But we do want it to go higher because somebody's going to have to take over the scoring load on this team. Right now, they're being led by Camilla and Angel. I don't know if they're leading it for the season. We can actually look that up. She's right there. Her and Camilla are right there. closing in on leading the scoring role with Ariel Atkins. And the way the season is going, she might end up being the scoring leader, if not Camilla, because for whatever reason, Ariel isn't getting as many attempts as I think we all would like her to get. Given her skill set, we would need her to be more of a go get a bucket player, and we're not seeing that totally right now. So Angel could possibly become a 15 and a 10 player for the season, if not shoot up higher than that. The more she gets comfortable in the role she's in now, and the more aggressive she plays, I do think a lot of this has to do with her just saying, all right, I tried it. What we're going to do now, I'm going to do me. And if you need me to be a facilitator, I'm going to do it my way. And we're seeing that she's grabbing the ball, grabbing the defensive rebound, and just taking it full court. I think she did a crossover defense shift, and she threw almost a no-look pass to Camilla. And that's just kind of her doing her. That's not a play set or anything like that. That's just her going off of her natural abilities and the feel of the game. But the problem with that, and it's not her problem, is a problem you cannot, I said this in my last video, you can't make a game plan that's just called Angel play in rhythm play. You know what I mean? You can't do that. Like, so it gets clunky and unpredictable. And when, like last game, when the other team went on a run, there was no set to be called, and it just looked like confusion. And so that's when you see the team starting to struggle, because they don't have that true point. But Angel is doing her best. She's going out there and competing. I think that's what separates her from a lot of players, is she competes on every possession. And whether the coach says, I need you to be a spot up 3-point shooter, or I need you to bang in the post, or I need you to shoot threes, she's going to do it at 100%. She's going to go forward. And that's what separates her. And that's why you see this turnaround in her season. And I have a good feeling that it's just going to continue to go up. I think that triple-double game gave her that last bit of confidence she needed to step into her true role. And then, like I said, Courtney going down seemed like it was a moment for her to step up and start shining. Here's another interesting stat, just to look at. When playing over 30 minutes, she is basically a double-double machine. The assists look great. Assist amount, still, she's just really active. So when she's on the court, she's getting a big amount of time. She makes the most of her time. I do think the coaches are still trying to figure out rotations and how much time each player gets. I've said before, Mila is not getting enough PT. I don't know if she maybe gets tired or whatnot, but this is just what happens when she gets enough minutes. She is productive, and that's what we're seeing out of Angel. Productivity. We like to see her numbers keep going up. I think that's going to happen. I am AJ. This is my mic. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.